So, one of the things that surprises me the most is today how this generation, I don't know what it is. If you charge for your services and you're a consultant, the first thing they assume is it's a scam. So consultants are not supposed to charge for their services. So I get it. You have a lot of these gurus out here, these get rich overnight gurus that, yeah, I'll admit it. So they ripped a lot of people over and a lot of scams. So a lot of people just don't have the confidence. But the thing is that to think someone's supposed to work for free. So let me ask you something. And this is just I'm not trying to be sarcastic, just a conversation, an adult conversation. If you went to work and you worked 2 hours or 3 hours, and after that, you asked your boss to pay you, and your boss said, "Oh, you didn't do it for free? Then you're a con artist. You're a scammer." Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Right? It doesn't. So I'll tell you why I charge. I charge because I want you to value my service, because I value my service. I know my education. I know my experience. I know I can get you from point A to point B to point C all the way through Z if you follow the plan, if you follow the instruction that I give you. For one, I have a bachelor's in business. I'm a business owner and have been for quite some time now. I'm a certified product manager, product owner. I'm Six Sigma certified. And you can look these things up if you don't know what that is. But Six Sigma is one of the highest operations certifications that a lot of companies like Apple, Amazon, Motorola, Samsung. There's another one I was thinking of that's really huge. Microsoft. They follow the Six Sigma method of lean operations. I'm certified in that. I've led sales teams to go from at the bottom to number one when I was a sales supervisor. I've managed several construction projects and IT projects from beginning to end. I started in this business in 2017, I would say, but then officially in 2019. I first started as an Airbnb in 2017. Then 2019, I cut over to being in the transitional housing business. I actually started off with someone that came from prison. That was my very first tenant, was a young man straight out of prison. And from there, it was a woman that came out of prison, but she also came out of rehab. So she was in prison, but she had an addiction. So when she came out, she was completing her rehab, but I became a vendor to the organization that was funding her. So that's why I recommend to some of you, if you want to get into the transitional housing or recovery home business, sober living, you don't necessarily have to get a government grant. You can actually find out the companies that won that grant. It could be federal, it could be state level. My experience, I partnered with a group or company that was a non-for-profit that already had funding in place. So I became a vendor to them. So they paid me to house people that were in their program. So they stay with me in the morning or whatever day of the week. The organization sends transportation, someone to pick them up and take them to their treatment. So again, why do I charge? Because I put the time and effort into building my business, my skill set, the time I spent just learning everything that I know. For me, it would be an insult for you to think that I'm supposed to give you my time and that knowledge for free. It's insulting to me. And I don't charge much. You guys get ripped off by someone that's flashy, right? Because I know sometimes on social media, everyone's caught up in that flashy person. So you see that person that's flashy with the rings and the jewelry and the suits, and you look at them and say, "Oh man, I want to be like them." And they'll pull up in a fancy car in their video, and you look at them and you don't realize most of that stuff is rented and you fell for it. But you'll jump immediately and go into debt for somebody like that. But someone that's straight up with you, like myself, straight up, I don't even charge much. That's the funny part, is just the 30-minute consultation that I give. I had one young man that hit me up. We were having an email back and forth. I don't do a lot of the email back and forth. I don't do that because I value my time. I value yours. You should not want to have this conversation via email back and forth. I don't do that. We could either set up a phone call or video call. So I dropped the link for him to say, "Hey, this is where you book my time through, and we could go over this. You could ask me anything you want within those 30 minutes, and I'll answer any question that you have." He said, "Oh, you charging?" I said, "Yes." Never responded. And I'm cool with that. But let me say, you know why I'm cool with that? Because if he doesn't have the measly, let's say because it's sometimes the 30-minute, I would charge basically $80. Let's use that for this conversation. On average, $80. If you don't even have $80 to put into your business, how are you going to move forward? How are you going to lease a property? How are you going to buy a property? How are you going to cover your expenses in the meantime until the money starts coming in? How? So if you don't even have $80, let's say $100. If you don't even have $100 to invest to get wisdom and knowledge, will cost you more if you went to school to get this information. I don't have the time of day for you either. I don't. And I'm glad you keep going on. Just keep moving. And I hate to be rude, but that's just where I stand with that. All right. So again, why I charge? Why do I charge? I charge because I value my time. I value yours. I have the education, the skill set, and the experience to take you from everywhere that I'm saying I could take you to that finishing stage. So anyway, if you want to know how you can open your transitional home or recovery home, they also go, it depends on the state you're in. Some states call it assisted living. Some states, everything falls under a group home. Just click that link below, go to my website. Thank you. I'm Mitchell H.